The story begins with some friends who are enjoying a party at night, but one of the girls is sitting silently, looking sad. When all the friends look at her, they ask her what the reason is. Why are you so sad? She tells them that a new app has been launched in the market which can tell the exact time of a person's death who downloads it. The girl says, I'm sad because this morning I also downloaded this app, and when I opened it, it told me that my death.
It said that her death would happen exactly 15 days from today. Hearing this, all the friends start laughing at the girl, and jokingly, they all download the app too. They make a bet that, according to the app, whoever is going to die the soonest will have to finish all the drinks kept on the table alone. Before downloading the app, everyone is shown a user agreement, the terms and conditions, and just like her, they all accept it without reading. After that, everyone begins to see the countdown of their life. Now, one by one, they start showing the remaining time of their life to everyone. Someone had 60 years, but Courtney looked worried. When she showed her mobile phone to her friends, according to the app, she had only 3 hours left. As soon as the countdown hit zero, she would die. Seeing this, Courtney became scared, but her friends reassured her, telling her not to be afraid, that the app was just a joke. According to the game, the one whose phone showed the least time left to live would have to drink all the drinks kept on the table. So Courtney lost the game because her phone showed she had only 3 hours left. Now, all her friends said to Courtney, according to the rules, she would have to drink all the drinks. Just then, Courtney's boyfriend, Evan, arrives and drinks all the alcohol himself instead of Courtney. After the party, when Courtney was sitting in the car with her boyfriend, Evan, he was intoxicated from drinking too much. So Courtney refuses to let Evan drive. But Evan doesn't listen to her. Courtney was already scared because of the app. So she gets out of the car and starts walking home. Evan asks Courtney several times to get back in the car. But when she doesn't, Evan gets angry and drives away, leaving her alone. Just then, Courtney, a notification from the app, appears on her mobile saying that she has violated the user agreement. Courtney doesn't understand what this means. But seeing this, she becomes even more scared. Just then, we see a man wearing a black coat starting to follow her. At that moment, Courtney gets an alert on her phone that she has only 7 minutes left. Panicking, she rushes home. As soon as she enters the house, strange sounds start ringing in her ears, and the app's alert keeps going off continuously, frustrating her so much that she turns off her phone. But the phone turns on by itself. In the end, some unknown thing pulls Courtney upward, and exactly when the countdown ends, Courtney dies from falling down. Here, we come to know that this app is not a joke, but actually shows the remaining time of a human's life. On the other side, we see that Courtney's boyfriend, Evan, crashes his car. Evan's life gets saved, but the seat where Courtney was supposed to sit had a big wooden log from a tree pierced into it. That means Courtney's death was actually supposed to happen this way. After that, in the hospital, we see a nurse named Quinn is seen taking a trolley into a patient's room. She notices that the patient has left the room without having breakfast. Quinn knows exactly where that patient would be at this time, so she goes straight to him. Here we see that the patient is none other than Courtney's boyfriend, Evan. Evan is extremely terrified. He tells Quinn everything about the Countdown app, how his girlfriend had downloaded it, and how she died exactly at the same time the app had shown. Quinn then explains to Evan that that will just be a coincidence. How could any app possibly tell a person the time of their death? She tries to relax him and prepare him for surgery. But Evan refuses to go into surgery at any cost because he too has downloaded the Countdown app. According to the app, Evan has only 19 hours left to live. And exactly 19 hours later, Evan is scheduled for surgery. And he realizes he will be killed during the surgery. But Quinn reassures Evan that nothing like that will happen. Sometime later, Quinn meets the head nurses of the hospital. They take her along where a doctor and the staff surprise Quinn with a cake because she has passed the nurse's test. Now, while everyone is sitting and eating cake, Quinn tells them about Evan's Countdown app. Here, some others also mention that they've heard about this app before. As a joke, they too download the app to check the remaining time of their lives. Among them is a doctor named Sullivan, who is the head doctor of the hospital. The doctor on his phone looks at his remaining lifespan, and becomes very happy
because it shows he will live until 90 years old. For the others too, the app shows quite a long time. Just then, a man brings in a woman who has fainted due to an overdose. Her heartbeat and breathing had stopped, but they managed to save her by giving an injection. After working the whole day, in the evening, when Quinn returns home, she receives a notification to download the Countdown app. Not taking it too seriously, she downloads it, and without thinking much, accepts all the terms and conditions of the app. Accepts it, and right then she finds out that only 2 days of her life are left. Seeing this makes her feel strange, but Quinn ignores it and reaches home. In Quinn's family, there's her father and her younger sister Jordan, while Quinn's mother had died in a car accident a year ago. The next day at the hospital, Evan is shown, extremely terrified, because on his phone, the countdown of his life was ticking down, and now only a few minutes of his life were left. Instead of going for surgery, he decides to run away. As soon as he starts running, a notification pops up on his phone saying that he has broken the user agreement. Here we learn that when someone sees their remaining lifespan through this app, they cannot escape their death. Just like a few days ago, Evan's girlfriend, Courtney, had tried to avoid her death by getting out of the car and walking instead. She had broken the user agreement and was killed. Now, in the same way, Evan is also trying to avoid his death by refusing to have the surgery. Now this, he might be able to save himself or not. Let's find out. As soon as Evan starts moving forward, he sees a dark shadow behind him in the mirror. But when he quickly turns around, no one is there. Suddenly, the mirror in front shatters. Terrified, Evan runs toward the staircase. Just as he reaches there, the power goes out. Then he hears the sound of footsteps. When he switches on his phone's flashlight, he sees his girlfriend Courtney in front of him, but his girlfriend has now turned into a demon, and as he tries to run away from her, it seems. But in his panic, his phone slips and falls down the staircase, and moments later, the ghost kills Evan too and throws him down the stairs. When Quinn arrives at the hospital, she learns that Evan has died after falling from the stairs. Hearing this, she starts remembering Evan's words, how the previous day he kept telling her that according to the app, he would die 19 hours later. Now Quinn also begins to suspect. Could it really be this app that killed Evan? To turn her suspicion into certainty, she directly goes to the place where Evan's body had been kept. She picks up Evan's phone and tries to check it, but his phone was locked with face recognition. To unlock it, she moves the cloth covering Evan's face and brings the phone in front of him to scan, which unlocks the phone. She sees that the countdown app has reached 0. Nye Quinn is fully convinced that this app is not a joke, but real. Just as her attention shifts from the phone to Evan's face, Evan's head suddenly turns by itself to look at her. She panics and quickly puts the body back into the freezer. Now Quinn starts feeling scared that all this might happen to her too, because according to the app, she has only 1 day left, and tomorrow she was supposed to go with her father to her mother's grave. She realizes that on the way, some accident might happen in which she could die. To avoid her death, Quinn calls her dad and cancels the plan to visit the cemetery the next day. Just then, a notification appears on Quinn's phone saying that she has broken the user agreement. Seeing this, she becomes extremely worried. Just then, Dr. Sullivan calls her into a room to help a patient, but his intentions were something else. He tries to assault Quinn. Somehow, Quinn manages to escape and immediately goes to the head nurse to file a complaint. But before Quinn can explain, the doctor keeps the head nurse busy with another task. Later that night back home, Quinn searches online about the app and finds information about Courtney. She comes across a girl's video, which explains that after downloading the app, she started seeing the ghost of her brother who had died many years ago. A little later, the girl says that her time is up, and then something happens to her as well. But when Quinn checks the comments on the video, everyone calls it a fake video, which gives Quinn a little relief. Just as she closes her laptop, she suddenly sees Evan's ghost, which terrifies her. But the moment she switches on the light, Evan disappears. Then she receives another notification that she has broken the user agreement. In panic, she smashes her phone on the ground and spends the entire night in the car out of fear. The next morning, Quinn's sister Jordan comes to wake her up. They both return to their room, and there Quinn's younger sister Jordan notices Quinn's broken phone on which the countdown app is still running. She says to Quinn, "You downloaded this app too." Hearing this, Quinn becomes worried because her younger sister Jordan also knew about the app, and her sister was also a user of this app. Now, Quinn's phone screen was completely broken, so she goes to a mobile shop to buy a new phone. She thinks that the killer app won't be on the new phone. But as soon as she buys the new phone, the app automatically downloads itself. Enraged, Quinn yells at the shopkeeper, asking about the app, but he doesn't know anything either. He tries to delete the app, but there is no option to remove it. Furious, Quinn grabs her phone and leaves the shop. Leaves. Hearing Quinn's story, a boy named Matt comes to the shopkeeper and asks him about the app as well. Meanwhile, Quinn gets into her car to drive back home. But as she looks into the rearview mirror, she sees a man dressed in black standing behind her car. When she quickly turns around, he has disappeared. Suddenly, a strange creature's hands cover her mouth, causing her car to reverse rapidly, narrowly avoiding a collision with the car behind. Then the man from the other car comes out angrily and starts yelling at Quinn. But just then, Matt, the customer from the shop, comes outside and calms the situation. He tells Quinn, "I've also downloaded this app, and I'm going to die even before you." Now the two of them sit together at a bar and start talking about the app. Matt asks Quinn, "When you downloaded the app, did you read the user agreement?" To this, Quinn replies, "No, I directly accepted the terms and conditions." Matt says, "I made the same mistake too." Now both of them regret that. We had read the terms and conditions at least once before accepting them. Just then, Matt notices a drunk person at the bar. Seeing him, Matt gets an idea. He tells Quinn, "Why don't we get this drunk person to download the app on his phone so that we can check the terms and conditions?" After that, the two of them approach the drunk person, who was rambling incoherently. They persuade him to download the app, and the drunk person agrees. Once he downloads the countdown app and he reaches the section with the terms and conditions, Quinn takes his phone and carefully reads through it. Only then do they discover a rule. Once a user sees the time of their death in the app, they cannot try to avoid it. Both of them had broken this agreement by canceling their trips. Despite all this, the crazy drunk person still accepts the terms and conditions. Luckily, the drunk person finds out that he will live for another 40 years. Then Quinn remembers that in the hospital where she works, there is a priest. Maybe he can guide them on how to get out of this situation. After that, Quinn and Matt go to the hospital and explain the whole demon story to the priest. The priest says he doesn't believe in demons, so he gives them the address of another priest who is an expert in dealing with demon cases. Before leaving, the head nurse takes Quinn to a meeting where Dr. Sullivan falsely accuses Quinn, claiming that it was not he who harassed Quinn, but Quinn who harassed him. But when Quinn starts presenting her side of the story, the head of the meeting doesn't listen to anything and fires Quinn from her job. But Quinn no longer cares about her job because now it's a matter of her life. After that, the two of them reach a church where they look for the man the priest had told them about. Finally, they reach that father and explain everything about the app to him. After hearing their story, a father tells them a story from the Bible. The story describes that about 100 years ago, there was a prince who had to go to war. This. The prince was afraid that he might be killed in the war, so he went to an old gypsy lady and asked her if he would survive the war. The old lady said that she could tell him the exact time of his death, but on one condition. After knowing the time of his death, the prince must not try to avoid it. The prince agrees, and he finds out that he will die in the war. Now, fearing death, the prince does not follow the lady's advice and sends his younger brother to fight in his place. But nothing happens to his younger brother. Rather, they win the war. But the cowardly prince is then pursued by a demon named Ozan, who tortures the prince and kills him exactly at the time that was written in his fate. The father meditates and discovers that behind all this is the hand of a demon named Ozan. The father says that perhaps this app is also a form of that Ozen demon. He explains that if you want to avoid your death, first the two of you must hack this app and bring its code to me. Once I see the code of this app, I will free you from that demon. Will be able to. Hearing this, Quinn and Matt had to hack the app as soon as possible because they now had very little time left. The two of them go to the mobile shopkeeper and ask him to hack the app. The shopkeeper was not willing to do the job, but when Quinn gives him money, he agrees. After many hours of work, he finally hacks the app and extracts its code. Quinn quickly takes a photo of that code so she can show it to the father. Here they see that the app has millions of users, among whom suddenly the shopkeeper also. He even sees the name Derek. He tampers with the code and increases his own age to over 100 years, and the idea really works. Now Derek had full access to the app. He could raise anyone's lifespan as much as he wanted. At Quinn and Matt's request, the shopkeeper also increases both of their ages. Ben Quinn sees her sister Jordan's name in the database, and that her death was supposed to occur 3 minutes before Quinn's. That means in that accident, both Quinn and Jordan were going to die. Anyway, now Quinn and Matt are very happy because they no longer feared death. But this happiness was only temporary. Later, Quinn and Matt reach Quinn's house together and decide to spend the night in the same room for safety, as the fear of the demon still lingered in their hearts. At night, just as they were about to sleep, Quinn asks Matt why he had downloaded the app. Matt explains that a few years ago, he had a younger brother, a very decent boy, who was always sick. Due to his illness, one day he passed away, and since then, Matt became afraid of death. When he learned about this app, he wanted to know how long he himself would live. That's why he downloaded it. After that, Quinn tells Matt her story. One night, she went to a party without telling her mom. When her mother went out to find her, she had a car accident on the way and died. After sharing their stories with each other, they both go to sleep. Then, at midnight, the demon comes again to scare Quinn. A strange voice echoes in Quinn's ears, which makes her eyes open. She sees a hand on Matt's stomach. She tries to shake Matt's hand to wake him up. But then the real Matt comes in through the door. In reality, the hand on Quinn's stomach was not Matt's, but the demon's. The demon attacks Quinn. Showing courage, Matt grabs the blanket from the demon, forcing it to flee. It is then that they realize hacking the app was of no use, because their countdowns have returned to their original times. Now, Quinn becomes worried about her younger sister Jordan. Meanwhile, the demon also begins to scare Jordan. Starts, but before anything could happen to Jordan, Quinn reaches her in time. Jordan is extremely frightened. Now, the three of them go together to Father John. Quinn tells him that their plan to hack the app has failed and that the demon is still after them. They then show the father the code used to hack the app. After carefully reading the code, Father understands that anyone who breaks the user agreement is cursed by Ozen. According to Father, this is actually a good thing because a curse can be broken. Now the father devises a plan to trap the demon in its own game. He explains that if they can prove the demon wrong, the curse will be broken. This means that if even one person dies slightly before or a few seconds after the time shown by the app, the demon will be proven false and the curse will be lifted. After that, the four of them reach the basement and create a ritual circle with mystical symbols. Now, only a few minutes remain for Matt, and the lights begin to blink, signaling that the demon has come to take Matt. The father quickly tells them to stand inside the circle and explains that as long as they remain within it, no demonic force or demon can touch them. But he warns them not to step outside the circle under any circumstances or they will be killed. After a while, the demon appears in front of them but cannot enter the circle. Suddenly, Matt sees his deceased brother. But this is not really his brother. The demon has taken his brother's form to trick Matt into stepping outside. Seeing this, is not really his brother, though. Matt becomes emotional, and the moment he steps out of the circle, the demon grabs Matt by the leg and drags him away. Seeing this, Quinn also runs after him. When she comes outside, she finds Matt standing unharmed on the road. But then a speeding car hits Matt, killing him instantly. and his phone's countdown reaches 0. Witnessing Matt's death with her own eyes devastates Quinn. Now the next target is Jordan. But Quinn sees that Jordan is badly injured while stepping outside. To treat her, Quinn takes Jordan to her own hospital, brings her in. Meanwhile, a nurse who works with Quinn tells her that Quinn was absolutely right. Dr. Sullivan has been trying to flirt with her too. Quinn's gaze falls on the despicable Dr. Sullivan. Seeing him, Quinn gets an idea. She knew that this rotten doctor was going to live to be 90 years old. If Quinn kills this doctor now, the demon's curse will be broken, and the lives of the two sisters will be saved. Now, to make this plan succeed, Quinn goes to the doctor's office. She tells him that she wants her job back. And I'm ready to do anything for that. Quinn tells him, I'll be waiting for you in the deserted area behind the hospital. The doctor, panicked and confused, arrives at the deserted spot, falling right into Quinn's trap. Quinn is silently standing there, holding an iron rod. The moment presents itself, and Quinn strikes the doctor with the rod, leaving him injured and on the ground. Quinn had also brought a morphine injection with her, and just as she was about to administer it to the doctor, the demon appears, grabs the doctor, and saves him, and the doctor escapes. Meanwhile, it's now Jordan's time to die. She has only 2 minutes left. The demon comes to kill her. She tries to hide and save herself, but the app reveals her hiding spot, and the demon catches her. Just then, Quinn steps in front of the demon and starts injecting herself with the morphine, hoping at least to save her sister's life. The demon then takes the form of Quinn's mother to deceive her. Seeing her mother, Quinn becomes emotional, but she quickly realizes that this is a trick by the demon, and she injects the morphine into herself. In this way, Quinn dies slightly before her time, proving Ozin false. Then Ozin, the demon, turns into smoke and disappears into the air, making Quinn's plan successful and saving Jordan's life. Jordan runs to Quinn, crying, and then notices the name of a medicine written beside her and sees the same medicine vial in Quinn's hand. Quickly, Jordan fills a new syringe with the medicine and injects Quinn, counteracting the morphine's effect, and Quinn comes back to life. Now, everyone's countdown stops. Quinn gets her job back, and the despicable doctor is sent to jail for his deeds. A few days later, Quinn visits her mother's grave with her family. As they begin to return home, a notification appears on Quinn's phone, and she sees that a new app called Countdown has been downloaded on her device. With this, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to make sure to like the video.